Hi everybody, this is a review of the Avid digital air compressors. So let's take a comparison of the three that were sent to me to show you the functions of each of them. Let's start with this unit. The self-contained has its own battery digital compressor. You could basically use this in outer space. It has its own power source, a lithium-ion 20-volt max battery. I would call this unit the coach's best friend. Now, whether you're a football coach, a basketball coach, or soccer, if you need to fill up balls out on the field or the court, you don't want to go looking for a power source. On a basketball court, maybe you could find one. An AC outlet. On the football field, that could be an issue. So if you have this right there in the middle of the field, you can take care of your business. So I'm going to turn this on and hopefully have no glare in the windows. Right there should do the trick. So I turn it on and there's a readout. Hopefully you guys can see that. And right now it's reading at 0, but then I hit the plus or minus to see what it's ready to put out. And there I have this set at 10 pounds a square inch. You have different settings. So if you press the middle button, pound square inch goes to bar, goes to kPa, and the next one goes to, I believe that was, I really can't read that here, but these other settings would be used in other parts of the world other than the United States. The United States and some other countries, many other countries use pounds per square inch. So that's where I'm going to set it up at. Hopefully you can see that to some level. If not, it's at 10 pounds per square inch. So I turn it on and that's what happens. An important thing to note, if you're using this to fill up the sports balls, first when you use the pin, you need to set it in flush and no further, otherwise it blocks the air path, and then the unit thinks that there's more pressure than there is. You may not even be able to operate the unit, which I couldn't at initial testing. So I closed that down. Now here's another thing to note. Once I put this pin inside, the pressure, the pin itself, the narrowness of the holes creates its own pressure. So there's a certain point, and it kind of varies from time to time just how far that's in, but somewhere around 10 to 12 pounds per square inch, it needs to be higher than that or it won't push out. It thinks that the airflow or the pressure is already maxed out. Let's see what happens at 10 pounds per square inch. See that? It's shut off. So I'm going to bring it up to 15. And now you see it's staying on. And if I bring it down just to 12, let's see what happens. So it's staying on. I'm going to bring it down to 11. And you see what happens. So the needle itself, the narrowness of the holes, creates its own pressure, and you need to take that into consideration. At first I thought the unit didn't work, but that was not the case at all. So if I'm going to fill up a basketball, which was my test, I had to start it right at 15, even though the basketball itself had to have it said, I think, 9 to 10 pounds of pressure, somewhere along there. And if I had it at that, it just wasn't even going to work at all. So you do have to take that into realization. The unit also does have its adapter to be able to plug into a 12-volt power supply, as you can see right there. So it can be a backup. Obviously the power is the output is going to be less since you're operating at 12 volts, but your durability is going to be more, where you can go all day long as you have car battery power. We have our second unit, the Avid digital compressor. It's plugged into a power source, so with that power source I have two switches. I have on, and then I have light, where I can turn on the light to do some work, whether that works at the tire or maybe even the engine. Once it's powered up, You may not be able to see clearly that from the center. You don't know how well that's showing up on video, but from the center you're able to adjust to pounds per square inch, bar, and kPa again, just like the other one. And I'm at pounds per square inch, and then with my plus and minus buttons over here, okay, I'm at 120 pounds per square inch, and this will go up to, it reads 990 pounds of pounds square inch, and then it comes down, the lowest number being 100, and then starting up from there. So this guy is going to give you a lot of power if you need that level of power. Good solid unit. Again, with that pin, if you're going to fill up basketballs, soccer balls, footballs, you need to add some pounds per square inch to get through the needle. And that's true. I tested it with all of the units. So this is a unit that will give you a lot of power if you need a lot of pounds per square inch. It will give you a lot, over 900 pounds per square inch. Will also give you a light to work with. So it really is an excellent unit to have in your car. And to be able to adjust that number to what you want as far as pounds per square inch, to make sure that you don't overinflate. I did find that it was best to overinflate a little bit. So in the test that you'll see, my car wanted 30 pounds per square inch, and I found that I needed to put it a little bit over depending on what unit I was doing, maybe 2 to 3 to 4 pounds over to get the tire where it needed to be. No big deal there. Okay, let's go on to the next one. And here we go with the third unit. This guy is the king of all units. Admittedly, this one is my favorite. It does absolutely everything. This is the unit that needs to be in the home, in the garage. You can bring it with you in the car. You can bring it to parties, to picnics. This is going to take care of your inflatables, your beach balls, your rafts, your inflatable mattresses, basically whatever you want. Everything is self-contained, wrapped up nice and tight, as you can see, just like that. So I'm going to take everything apart right in front for you. In the front you have your adapter there for your small inflatables, such as your beach balls, as an example. And the center slot would be the pin for your basketballs, your soccer balls, your footballs. So again, maybe you're at the family picnic or the company picnic, and again, you're prepared to do anything and everything, or the pool party. So let's take everything apart. Here is your high compression hose. Just unwraps like that. Over here for your high volume hose for your air mattresses, for your large units that you need to inflate, the kiddie pools and so forth. Over here you have the 12-volt cord, and I should mention all of the cords on these units are a little bit in excess of 9 feet. So I'm going to quickly plug this one into my 12-volt accessory over here, my 12-volt power supply. So now she's lit up. With this switch right here, I can switch for house power or 12-volt power, and the cord for your house power or your 120 volt is right under here. Again, neatly tucked away. So right now I have it switched for my 12 volt, and right here with this I can adjust my first with here. Right now it's set for bar, which I don't want. That's for kPa, and right there pounds per square inch. So now she's set up for pounds per square inch, and then I can use this switch to go to high pressure, such as car tires, and sport balls, like basketballs, soccer balls, or I can go over here for high volume, such as my beach balls and my pools and my small kiddie pools and my inflatables. There is a switch here to turn on a light for, again, usage wherever, whether that be home use or car. And over the back of here, let me turn that light off, is my output for high volume. Setting this up to AC power to give me more power. Just putting something here to show that there is a decent amount of power that will come out of here. Switch this on to and as you can see, I've got a decent amount of power there. I take this off, I put it in here, and now I'm ready to deflate items through suction. So again, I turn on my high volume, and now I've got suction like a vacuum cleaner. As you can see. So this unit really does everything. It's going to inflate your high volume accessories, the kiddie pool. It'll deflate them also. That's that switch right there. Taking care of your high pressure needs, such as tires and sport balls, your basketballs and your soccer balls and your footballs. And it can be powered up by the house electricity or by 12-volt electricity, and of course setting up your how much pounds per square inch you want. Also right here there's a USB connection to charge or power up USB devices. So let's take a look at what they do in the field. Here I'm working with the first unit. The initial reading shows 21.5 pounds square inch. I power it up and I have the pressure set to reach 32 pounds per square inch. Besides this unit being useful for the car and for the sports field, imagine if you're a bus driver, maybe a tour bus driver, a truck driver, and you need to fill up your tires. Stretching a cord from a cigarette lighter to a rear tire may not exactly be practical. I shake the car a bit to see how solid the tire is, and I see that it needs a little bit more air. And it stops right on a dime. Here's the unit with the lithium-ion battery in place. And as you can hear, there's more power to the unit than when I place the battery adapter, the car battery adapter. And again, we're going from 20 volts down to 12, so it's to be expected. And as you may note, there's a small light that does come on once the unit is turned on. Here's the second unit. As you can see, the reading is presently 25 psi. It stopped at 33, and I give the car a shake and I feel the tires a little bit too soft, so I put it up to 2 more pounds of pressure from 33 to 35 psi, and I continue. Here goes the third unit, and it's showing 25.5 psi when I start out. I set it for 32. And as you see, there's a green status bar letting you know how far along you are. Again, I'm giving the car a shake to see how solid the tire looks, see if I like the feel of it. Sometimes your readings may be off from unit to unit, and I give it a shake again. And I set the unit up for a little bit higher at 37 psi. The switches give me a little bit of difficulty. Maybe something's caught in memory. Not a big deal at all. And I'm giving the car some more shakes. I want to see how solid the tire appears to be.